All right, what's up guys? This is Ryan with Elevate Security, and in this video, it might be a multi-part one here because I'm trying to take a lot of knowledge and really condense it down into the basics for you. Today's video will be on Linux, pretty much as I can cover, like Linux command line. So we're going to start off with the basic Linux file system, because if you're coming from Windows or something like that, then this is going to be the first thing that's kind of different than what you're used to, let's just say. So, yeah, if you guys are already pretty familiar with Linux, you've been pen testing for a while, this next video or maybe next couple videos might not be for you, but it might be a good refresher at the same time as well, I will say. So, yeah, we'll look at the Linux file system here, first of all. And we're just going to start with from the very root directory here, so we can see. If you're more of like a Windows guy, you probably know it's like your C drive and stuff like that. Well, rather than having lettered drives like this, we have these drives here. So we have the bin directory. This is short for binary. So these are where all your binaries are stored. The /dev, that's for devices. Home is for where user accounts are stored. The user's home directory, basically. Since I'm on the Kali account, it'll take me. I can go to the Kali account through that. And basically, media is where you would have any kind of CDs, USB devices, stuff like that, if they're mounted to the file system. Opt is I believe it's optical, right? That's where I normally store, personally, that's where I like to pull in my programs that I grab from the internet, but that's for optical, I believe. Root is for the root account, so that's like root's home directory. SBIN, there's more binaries in SBIN as well. And then you have sys, which is like where your system file, the kernel's view of the hardware, essentially. And then from there, etc is where all of your what's it called, system configuration files are stored. Etc. And lib is for your libraries. It's short for libraries. And let's see, other than that, mount is where you can mount stuff. Proc gives you information on processes. Anything else of major? Temp is just like a temporary directory. Every time you reboot your system, whatever's there gets wiped away. And I'm trying to think if there is anything else that's like really big here. That's pretty much the main ones that you need to be familiar with, I would say. So from here, let's just go into some basic Linux commands that you need to know. So the first one is cd. You might have seen me do that earlier. It's for change directory. So right now, where am I at? pwd. I am in this directory. ls, list everything in my current directory. If I want to go into home, I would do cd home, and now we are in home. We can list what's there. Kali, we can cd into Kali, and that's basically how that works. Really like basic navigation, making your way around in a terminal. Basically, rather than a GUI, like if I were to pull this up, well, the file explorer, file manager, the way I would navigate is by clicking, and then I would be in a different, and now I see everything that's here. This is basically what you're doing, but in the context of the command line. So, probably most of you guys already know this, but I'm just trying to start really basic so that no matter what your level of understanding is coming in, that you are able to follow along. Another really important command is the whoami command. Now, in this shell, we can see that we're Kali, but sometimes you won't have that information. If you, say, get a shell on a box, you might not have this kind of output here. So you can run the whoami command to find out who you are. ID is another good one. You can see what group it's part of and the user ID as well. And so that's good for determining that kind of information. Pretty useful command, I would definitely say. And then another really important one is the man command for manual pages. So say I want to find out more information on who am I could do man who am I, and then I get a manual page on that. So think of this as like your instruction manual. Most of the commands, most of the Linux commands have man pages, and they're extremely useful. So, you know, there's so many different flags for all these different commands. You're not going to remember all of them. So, and you don't need to remember all of them. If you use the certain flags enough, you'll remember what they are. But sometimes you need to do things that are very specific. That's when you want to just go to the man page. You don't even have to Google stuff. You don't even have to leave your terminal to find out this information. If I type /, I can search stuff like, say, -L. Okay. I can hit N to go to the next finding, next finding, next finding. Q to quit. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do that. I know I'm going through this stuff pretty fast. Feel free to rewind or even slow it down if you need to. I'm just going to try to get through this because this is a very dense topic. And there's a lot to it. But you're going to see me hacking a lot of systems here, doing a lot of pen testing. So you're going to keep seeing me use this like similar commands. So if you just follow along with these videos, you're going to end up learning a lot of this stuff anyways. But I'm just trying to give you the quick overview for now. So you can search for stuff as well. And this is why a lot of people, or one of the reasons why a lot of people prefer Linux over Windows. The way you can search for stuff is way better than anything that Windows offers. So let's say that we are, in this case, wanting to search for, let's say, we want to search for all the nmap files. We're not sure where like the nmap stuff is located. We can use the locate command on nmap, and then really quickly it gives us all the nmap stuff. Really nice, right? It's going to search through everything on the system and come back with all that. Another way that we can do that, say there's a specific file that we're looking for, like this one here. We can use the find command. So we can say find and search from the root directory down. If we knew more accurately what subdirectory or what drive or whatever it's in, then we can specify that. But let's just say look through the entire, the entire OS, the entire storage, and find the name of the file that is equal to this. And let's say we don't care about errors. We're just going to pipe it to dev null. If you're not aware, this 2 here, that's standard error. So any error like, oh, you don't have permission to go to look in this directory or that directory, it won't even output that to the console because we want really clean output. So that's why I like to run it with that. So we do that, and there you go. It found it in user share nmap scripts. There you go. So yeah, find command. Honestly, I normally use this more so than locate, but both of them can be used. I find to be super useful. It's a command I use quite frequently. Let's see, what else is really important here? Definitely grep. Grep is a game changer. So let me just explain how it works, right? So if we cat, say, etc password, and cat is a command that you can use to concatenate things. So essentially, you give it a file, like a text file. In Linux, pretty much everything is a text file. So when you cat a file, it basically takes the contents of that file and outputs it to the console. So that's what I'm going to do here. It outputs the contents of this file to our terminal's console here. Or I guess the terminal and console kind of interchangeable, right? But yeah. So let's say that I'm only interested in the information on the mail account. I don't care about all this other stuff, right? So what I can do is I can use the grep command on that, and I can say to grep for mail on this file. And then, here, maybe it's easier to see if I run it this way. It only gives us that line. Now say I only want everything that's not mail. I don't care about the mail account. I just want basically everything else. Then I can do it with -v for the negative match. So now if you look through here, you'll notice that there is no mail account here. So it gave us every other line. right? And there's so many different ways that you can use grep. If you go to the man page, you can see you can even recursively grep through things with the dash capital R. You can use Perl regex with a capital P. There's just a crazy amount of stuff that you can do with this. This is like one of those ultra insanely valuable tools for Linux that you really need to master, or at least become familiar with, to basically get the most value out of it. So going on from there, modifying files and directories is another thing of importance for sure. Now, I'll give you an example. Let's go into the temp directory, right? And let's say that we create a file, and this will also show you how to use text editors, right? I like to use Vim. We're gonna make a little script that just echoes the script is run, right? So we'll call this script.sh. It's gonna be a bash script. So, okay, in Vim, you hit I for insert. That puts me in insert mode. Now I can start typing. So you gotta press I first. So that's what I did. And I'm just going to echo the bash script has run. Okay, pretty simple. I'm going to hit escape to exit insert mode. I'm going to type colon. I'm going to type W for save and Q for quit. Okay, pretty simple, right? Now I can't just run this because, and I'll show you why. I'll show you what happens if I try to run this. Permission denied. Now, if we do ls-la, we can see a lot more information on all these files. We'll see script.sh does not have executable permission. It can't be executed by anyone. So let's break this down for a second here. The first, or I guess the last three of these, and this will be the last thing and then I'll end the video. These last things here, these last three are basically everyone. These are the world permissions. So obviously my account is the account that created this script, so I'm the owner, and also my group is also called Kali, and we can see that by the ID command. But anyways, everyone else that's like not me and not in the Kali group, they would only have read permissions. They wouldn't have write permissions. They wouldn't have execute permissions. Everyone in the Kali group, same thing. Now me, because I created this file, I have both write and read permissions. So if I want to make this executable for pretty much everyone, then it's as simple as doing chmod plus X. And now, if we look, we'll see that it's executable by everyone. Now, there's different number codes you can do if you don't want to make it executable to everyone, maybe just to you or to your group. But I won't really cover that. This is just going to be how you're going to do it mostly when you're doing pen testing stuff. You get a shell on a box. You upload, like, say, your Linux privs checker. You need to make it executable. You just do that with chmod plus X really quick, fire, and then you're good to go, right? So now that you can see it also changed colors here because of our terminal settings, but now you'll see that we can actually run the script, and it says the bash script is run. So yeah, that's a pretty much quick overview on, the text editing in the terminal, Linux permissions, and even how to run a bash script. So yeah, we'll end it here, but there's definitely more that I would like to cover on the topic of Linux. So we will pick it up in the next one. Let me know, as always, any questions, comments down in the section below, and I will see you guys in the next video.